Guys, thanks for joining the Principal Entrepreneur today. We just got done interviewing Mr. Randy Zook. He's the president of the Arkansas Chamber of Commerce. And Jodi, it was a great interview.
It was so good. Oh my gosh. Those of you who are maybe coming into a time of your life where you're looking to start a business, you're looking to get into the workforce, or you're even looking to move to Arkansas, now is the time. This is your chance. Arkansas has never been healthier from what we can tell, from what he was saying, from the statistics that are proving in our workforce and our economy, and just overall like the quality of life, the cost of living. There's so many different factors that come into play here. And we talk about all these really in deep dive discussions about why it's important and why I think you will find Arkansas is a great place to be.
Yeah, and he goes
business
through
and in life.
all these other CEOs and leaders and how they operate and signal versus noise. Absolutely. And all these other great factors and traits that they have. And it was just so good to sit here and listen to a guy who's done it as long as he has.
Oh, he's seen hundreds, if not thousands, of business owners come through the chamber. And what he was doing was putting a correlation to a characteristic trait that he saw was equal to success. Mm-hmm. So we dove into that and what that looks like specifically, 3 things. And so catch that on the podcast.
Yeah, so you're going to enjoy this. Thanks for watching The Principal Entrepreneur. Here's the next episode. Mr. Randy Zook, thank you for being here today.
You bet.
President of the Arkansas Chamber of Commerce, correct?
Technically the Arkansas State Chamber.
Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce,
right.
And you're in Russellville today, and we thank you for just popping in here for a quick minute and talking to us about all things Arkansas and just leadership and principles, and we're going to get into a lot of stuff today. We've been talking about this since we got to set it up. Like
very good.
We've been really excited
Favorite
about
subject.
this. Yeah. I mean, because we're business owners ourselves, mm-hmm. and we read a lot what's in the Arkansas business. We read a bunch of there, and so we want to just kind of go off of what we've been seeing and stuff like that. But first, let's start out with you and your journey to get to where you are a little bit. We've heard a little bit. You started off, you actually stopped off in Russellville for a little bit, it sounds like. 2 years at Arkansas Tech.
Right out of high school from McGee.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that to
Fayetteville, graduated there, went to work in Little Rock.
Yeah.
A couple of different roles.
What did you do when you came back to Little Rock to work?
First job was with an insurance company, which the home office was there, and they had I thought I was really something because I was in their management training program.
Yes, of course.
And the first assignment I got was to go to Eden Isle to the marina, inventory the marina. So I was counting plastic worms, and fishing lures, and I thought, boy, I'm glad I went to college to learn how to do this.
Oh, my goodness. Eden Isle is a beautiful place, but definitely really I'd probably rather be on the lake than counting worms, so no doubt.
You didn't do any golfing while you were there, too, did you?
I was not. I've never been much of a golfer. I was I am recovering tennis player now, pickleball.
Pickleball, yes. I started to say, everybody's pickleball now.
I'm just crazy about it.
Yeah, so we get that a lot, too.
It's a great game.
Well, we're going to get into a little bit of this, and one of the things I wanted to start off with is just Jodi and I, we're in real estate, so we see trends that come good and bad, but right now Arkansas seems to be trending in a positive direction when it comes to people inbound to Arkansas. As a matter of fact, there's a stat that came up that said 65%, this is I think it was Van Lines, and they said that people were 65% inbound to Arkansas, which was number 1 in the nation for this company to say this is where all our stuff's heading. And so I just didn't know if you thought that would be accurate. You seeing that trend too?
Yeah, well, if you go to the Census Bureau, since 2020, we've been the 14th fastest growing state in the country.
Wow.
And that's up against Texas, Florida, the Carolinas, Virginia.
Wow.
The really hot states. So we're punching way above our weight class on a lot of measures.
Wow. Wonderful.
About 19,000 people net per year. Growth.
Net in.
Right.
19,000.
Increase in population since 20.
Wow.
And the I would say indirectly and directly, what are some effects that you're seeing? What's the draw to Arkansas that you see?
Well, that's the big question, and it's easy to answer, really. I think, first of all, what attracts most people that are inbound from other states is relatively low cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big advantage for us. You can sell a home in California and buy a county in Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. You know, I think there was a statistic I just saw that said we were number 3 or 4 in lowest cost of living. Arkansas ranked among the other states, and that speaks to who we are, I think. But anyways, go ahead and continue with what your thoughts are.
Well, that low cost is a big deal. We have a very well managed state government. We're not crazy. We're not off in the ditch on either side of the road. We're pretty sensible. We're pretty sensible about our government fiscal matters, especially. We're well financed. We've got savings accounts and rainy day funds. And
yes.
tucked away. It's kind of spooky how much money is sitting in the bank or somewhere in Little Rock. And that speaks to leadership at the state. We've had a long string of pretty darn good governors and very sensible on the whole legislators for a long time. We really have.
We felt that as well.
And we're one of the few states that has a balanced budget. Like, we have to have a balanced budget at the end of it, right?
If we go into a deficit, the governor goes to jail.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
That's literally the case, and that's pretty strong motivation.
That's pretty strong motivation for anybody. Yeah.
Two things. They're very conservative in their budgeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They underestimate or overestimate and underspend
That's right.
religiously.
Wow.
And we had Senator Breanne Davis on, and we got to talk about the session. And one of the things we talked to her about was it seemed like since Governor Hutchinson,
Mm-hmm.
and even Governor Huckabee now, there seems to be this idea of trying to get the state income tax to 0 to match other states. And we're not quite there yet. We're in that, we're 3%?
I have 3.9 is what it reduced to in about, I guess, last year sometime.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's already created some positive change, but maybe not what we were expecting. What do you see in that?
There's no question that it's affecting our growth in a positive way. People are, again, well-managed,
Yes.
declining tax rates, both at the individual and corporate level. We're very competitive when you do a full comparison, and that's our message right now.
Yeah.
We're competitive already. We're attracting all we can handle. We need to continue what we're doing, but let's do it in bite-sized pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
That's
do
right.
it, and let's not get off in the ditch.
You can't grow too fast. You can't offer too much without actually having something to provide.
That's exactly right.
And it takes time.
As realtors, you all know one of our biggest challenges in Arkansas right now is housing stock.
Yeah, that's right.
We're way behind the curve in much of the state, and we've got a lot of catching up to do.
Nationally, that's the same way,
It's
too.
the same way.
Yeah.
We're 6 or 7 million units under where we should have been.
Right.
That's what I'm finding.
That's a lot of activity.
That's
A
right.
lot of construction activity, a lot of growth opportunities for investors and for families in housing stock.
Housing. And I'm actually seeing that's a stop from people inbound in Arkansas because they can't find a home that they really like. And that's a whole nother subject, but that's a huge point.
Yeah.
But I will say the attraction, I think, too, from not as much a business perspective, but more of a lifestyle perspective is that between Little Rock and Northwest Arkansas, there is so much to do in these
It's
areas.
incredible.
And it's a family-friendly environment
Yes.
that is safe
Yes.
in general. So I think there is an attraction for all kinds of business owners that have families. That seems like our target market if you're talking about what Arkansas is recruiting.
Yeah.
On the business side, though, recently I heard that we were ranked 12th in growth for business, which is huge. It's what you're speaking to because maybe we're so middle of the road, we're competitive, and we're balanced.
Up from 18.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
So we were 18.
So we were
made a jump to 12.
The
That's
ranking
correct.
looks like the SEC football standings. I mean, it really does. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
It really does. It's all the South and the Southwest are the growth engines in the country. Population growing, GDP growing.
Mm-hmm.
for the last 3 quarters in a row, Arkansas, in the third quarter of 24, we were the number 1 fastest growing GDP in the country.
Wow.
Arkansas was?
In the fourth quarter, we were the number 1 fastest GDP growth state in the country.
Wow.
In the first quarter of 25, gosh, we slipped to 4 and tied with North Carolina.
Man.
Oh, wow.
This is pretty heady stuff for us.
Yeah.
Huge.
And we've got so the businesses that have made big announcements lately, you have Green Bay packing in Morrilton, outside Morrilton, Conway County.
It's a big deal.
So it's how many, is it how many millions are they investing?
I think it was like 1.2 billion, something like that. Yeah, it's over $1 billion.
So that's a huge investment that they're making. The steel in the east side of the state,
northeast Mississippi County.
Yeah, Mississippi County.
The number 1 steel producing county in the U.S.
In the United States.
In the U.S. Not Indiana.
Not Pennsylvania.
Not Ohio, not Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Wow. So the steel industry is
more to come.
Yeah, that's 1,500 jobs that I saw from just
There's about 7,000 total jobs in Mississippi County.
Wow.
That are directly related to the steel industry. The bad news there, the downside of that is 60% of the people with those jobs live outside the state of Arkansas.
Really?
So they earn their living in Arkansas.
And then they spend their money outside of Arkansas.
But take most of it home with. They pay Arkansas income tax, personal income tax, but they take most of it home. And people drive from North Atlanta, literally, and work 4 12-hour shifts. Pile up in a double wide, go home for 4 days, come back for 4 days. Georgia.
Could we get them here?
Well, that it's a big. Well, there are 2 issues in Northeast Arkansas. It's housing, number 1, and second is school systems. They just people are reluctant to live in Blytheville or Osceola, and I say that in Blytheville and Osceola.
Yep.
And they know they've got the challenges, and they're trying to correct a lot of that stuff, and they'll get it done. But it's a huge magnet and a great opportunity for Arkansas kids. Those jobs start over $100,000 a year.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
You can be 19 years old, a year out of high school, and driving the biggest pickup truck on the planet.
No doubt.
Right.
You'd be the coolest kid. The
No-
cool factor.
And we can't get enough kids to jump in and take advantage of it.
Wow.
So we got some selling to do there.
And then Walmart they have their campus, and then they said no more remote working, and they asked everybody to come
Pulled
back
everybody back.
to Northwest Arkansas, where you got the big 3 up in Northwest Arkansas, right? You got Tyson, you got JB Hunt, and then you've got Walmart, and all
the
of
university.
them,
Don't
and the
forget,
university,
34,000 kids just in this semester.
and they had a record, I think, freshman class, if I'm not mistaken. So.
The trick is, how do we get them to stay here after they graduate?
Well, and those big 3 have had a lot of influence on keeping them here as much as possible.
Question.
But every time we go up there, it's so fascinating because you just see dirt being moved everywhere in Northwest Arkansas.
Everywhere you look.
I mean, there is an excavator doing something in Northwest Arkansas, and the stats that we heard was like there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 families a day moving to Northwest Arkansas.
35 people.
Right. So that's impressive. I mean that'll rival any city in the country with as many people moving into one area like that. So
that's a big number.
Yeah.
That's a lot of housing.
That's
a lot of
and that's the problem up there is
that's
the
a lot of
housing.
roads. That's a lot of sewer lines. That's a lot of
infrastructure.
water lines.
Can't keep up right now.
Yeah.
Up there. That's so interesting.
Benton County has got a freeze, literally. I mean, they can't take any more on their wastewater system. So they've got a full court press on to try to get that fixed, and they will. They have to. It's one of those issues. Water lines and sewer lines are hard to sell to legislators and
it's not
public
sexy.
officials.
Is it?
It doesn't show much.
So
it's
what?
Not pretty. It's not like a road or a bridge or a building.
Yeah.
But it must be done.
But it's just as important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And speaking of waterways, and this is a little side note here, but we've talked about this with Tommy Lands, the land commissioner. Great guy. We had a great conversation, and I brought this up to him and to Senator Davis. We have something unique in Arkansas. It's Arkansas River, right? It goes all the way from one side of the state to the other. goes into the Mississippi River.
Right.
And there was I forgot what article it was that came out the other day that said it was something, how many 18-wheelers could be taken off of I-40 if we simply made the Arkansas River more accessible up and down for barges and stuff like that, which means you got to, scoop out a bunch of stuff and make
you have to have a 12-foot channel all the way to Tulsa.
That's right.
Yes.
We've got it mostly in Arkansas, but you get past Fort Smith and it gets pretty iffy.
So I don't know, is there any talk about making the Arkansas River more accessible for these businesses and stuff like that to go through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There's a full court press to try to get some federal investment.
And that's Corps of Engineers, right?
Yeah.
So that's our federal legislators that have to push that.
Exactly.
But as far as you know, all the cities that would line up, including Little Rock to Morrilton to just go up here. I mean, everybody would have something to take home from that.
No question.
And then it would ease up the road, so you're not spending as much money on the roads because you're taking a lot of 18-wheelers off, right?
I wouldn't count on that.
Okay, so you think that's still the 18-wheelers would be...
The growth, if we start today, it'd take 30 years to add a third lane to both sides of I-40 from Memphis to Fort Smith.
Really?
You think about it.
It's just, I guess you're right.
And it's just the growth is just, you can't get in front of it.
Wow.
But if we took some of that pressure off of I-40 and put it on the river, which would be cheaper for the businesses to run it up and down the river, because you can put more tonnage on a barge than you can on an 18-wheeler.
It depends on what you're shipping.
Okay.
Think about that. Most of what gets shipped on the river is bulk stuff. Gravel, soybeans, rice, commodities, bulk commodities.
Right.
Most of the stuff shipped on trucks on the highways are finished goods.
Okay.
Or intermediate goods.
Yeah.
And it's,
has to be faster, has to get there faster.
Faster and absolutely on time. That's
Right.
what just-in-time inventory is all about.
Yeah.
A plant will shut down if somebody misses their dock appointment by plants by more than 3 or 4 hours. It's that tight.
Mm.
And
so anyway,
the waterways.
It needs to be done. It's very positive. There's a lot of money being spent at the mouth of the Arkansas where it joins the Mississippi, because that's pretty tricky.
That's
there.
right. Yeah,
that's pretty tricky.
Right.
And that's the first thing to make. You got to be able to get onto the Mississippi, because that's where you're headed. You're headed to the Gulf.
That's right.
Yeah.
Typically with those commodities.
That's right.
But lumber, timber, wood chips, gravel, sand.
Exactly. So overall, though, I think Arkansas, we are proud, I think, of our low cost of living, our efficiency, and it seems like the business that's attracted to that is also under the same mindset. So my thought here is, how do you see that low cost of living benefit these entrepreneurs that are maybe coming in and business owners? What are you, I guess specifically, like, compared to other states, how are we making this happen, and what's our advantage for an entrepreneur?
Well, for an entrepreneur, first of all, there are a lot of just homegrown opportunities. I mean, just typically, retail kinds of businesses, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you start talking about manufacturing, this community, Russellville, has some incredibly productive and smart and well-run manufacturing businesses.
We do.
Phoenix Innovation.
Mm-hmm. We had Nate Harrison on.
Love that guy. I love that business.
Yeah.
That's the kind of entrepreneur we need about 10,000 more.
More of him.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
We had him on the podcast as well. Nate.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
And we talked about tariffs and all things tariffs. And it's the depth of that business is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And look at your other big man, ConAgra.
Yes.
I mean, fantastic payroll. I think you've got about 1,800 people working out there now.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And just big opportunities, long-term career opportunities for kids, for young people. So, and there's a transition underway. The boomers are turning over their businesses or selling them.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a whole lot of service kinds of businesses that are available to either to buy or to replace with a new business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a good point. I didn't think about the boomer generation is going to leave a gap that will need to be filled.
Big one.
And service and then new technology coming in, and that's an
the
interesting
greatest
fact.
shift in generational wealth.
Yes,
I think in history is upon us.
It's well upon us.
And it's trending upward.
They're still retiring. 10,000 a day retire.
Oh my goodness!
Hit 65.
I didn't know that. No.
10,000 a day. We got about 5 more years at that rate, and then the boomers are either enjoying retirement or dead.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Enjoying pickleball. That's what we've been seeing a lot. They've been
exactly
pickleball a lot.
doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Cool.
All right. So, is there any other, big businesses that you want to mention that may be on the horizon that you can't talk? I know there's some things that you can't that you may say, hey, there's some.
What
big
about
stuff
Amazon?
happening.
Let's talk about Amazon.
Well, Amazon's employing in central Arkansas, just in Pulaski County, they've got 3 existing facilities and a 4th one under construction.
That's what the new
That's
one.
1 million square feet for that one that's under construction.
Wow.
And 1,000 jobs.
1,000.
The big building has got 7,000 people working in it.
Wow.
That's incredible.
24/7.
Wow.
Go to work at $22 an hour on day one.
Mm-hmm.
All benefits on day one.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to college while you're working for us, we'll pay for it.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, that's a deal. Yeah. So is the workforce, can we support that workforce?
We're doing it so far.
Okay. You see
Now here you've got 1,000 new ones coming on at Amazon. Trex is just about to start hiring. They're going to need 1,500 people. Enormous manufacturing complex. It's something to behold. It's worth a trip out to the Little Rock Port Industrial Park. Others include West Rock Coffee and Conway.
Yes.
The big distribution centers, Dollar General, Tractor Supply, and the Dillard's e-commerce warehouse in Maumelle.
Yes.
All of those things are 500-600 apiece employees.
Right.
And it's really been a shot in the arm to Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
But again, we've got about 60,000 people on the sidelines in our economy right now in the state of Arkansas. Not working, not looking for work, not in prison, not on disability, not in school. 60,000.
What do you contribute that to?
Same thing. It's a national problem.
Laziness?
Here are the stats. I can wear you out with these stats.
Do tell us.
In 1954, there were 2.5% of the men between 25 and 54 who were not working. 2.5%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, that same metric is 10.5%.
Wow.
It's just under 7 million men, 25 to 54, who are not working, not looking for work, not in prison, not in school, and not on disability.
Potentially.
So our share of that's about 60,000.
Is this potentially a female transition over to being the breadwinner type
There's
of?
some of that. Out of that 10.5%, yes, there are some couples where the woman, the mom is the breadwinner, the primary breadwinner, and the guys stay home and take care of the kids, or just don't work.
Or just don't, right.
But that's a pretty small slice. The
Okay.
bigger slice is just not doing anything.
Just being lazy.
Well, and so that goes to another stat that I would say from the housing viewpoint. I would say back in the 50s, 60s, the average first-time home buyer was probably in their mid-20s. Today, that number, first-time home buyer, the age is 38.
Yes.
And some of that has to do with affordability. Like, housing is not as affordable as it once was. So, but then they're not working as much, so they're having to stay in mom and dad's basement, which is a real thing. That's not makeup. They're literally staying.
Full of student loan debt.
That's the other thing. And we talked to Dr. Jones over at ATU about how high the student loan debt is.
It's higher than credit card debt.
Oh, it's incredible. And credit card debt is and just record breaking. There's no way we can probably pay it off. It's a death loop on credit card debts. So I think we're at $16 trillion, not credit card debt, but consumer debts. $16 trillion as a nation. How you ever pay that off?
I don't know what that number
Yeah,
is.
credit card debt was like $1.5 million, when I was $1.5 trillion.
Student loan is 1.7.
Yeah, so it's higher than credit card debts.
But the stat that you gave with the number, say the age range again.
25 to 54, prime working.
Right.
Okay, so
If you're going to college, you're probably out.
right. Man, so there was a stat that talked about 9 million people nationwide are sitting in their parents' basements between the age, I think, of it was like 24, 25, and 38. So
I don't know how many, but
It's a bunch.
It was 9 million is what they said, statistically said. There's going to be 9 million first-time home buyers this year or next year. Of course, all the realtors went crazy and they're excited, but that's a sad statistic. This is terrible. But it is, I think, has to do so much with debt.
Mike Rowe, the Dirty Jobs guy, says we've got a skills gap, but we've also got a will gap.
Yeah.
Mostly the will gap.
Yeah,
Yep.
I see that.
If in Arkansas, in most places, if you are not working, it's because you don't want to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
There's a
plenty
job
of opportunity.
you can throw a rock at a job in just about anywhere in Arkansas.
Right.
Wow.
And a good job. You're talking about $22 an hour,
Yeah.
benefits.
Day one.
I mean, so that's not a good job. It's a great job.
Paid
It's
for.
$50,000 a year.
Yeah. So, and then with teachers got a raise, I mean, they're $50,000 a year. So, I mean, there's really good jobs that
Steel workers start at 110.
Wow.
That's
That's
impressive.
incredible.
I mean, that's just really impressive.
I think I know what I want
tell
my
people
sons
that
to do.
in these chamber meetings around the state and say, what was that number? What's that phone number?
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
So I want to transition just a little bit over into just your perspective on different things when it comes to you see these guys, they come from out of state or sometimes they're in-state people and they're looking to expand. And so when you get a chance to sit down with them and you get to understand who they are, the quality of the business that they operate, what leadership qualities do you see more often than not out of the most successful businesses that you come into?
Number one is focus.
Focus. That's a good one.
That's good.
They're single-minded. They know exactly what they're trying to do. They know their numbers. That's the number two thing. They're data-driven.
That's good.
Not emotional about most decisions, but start with the facts. Number three, they're very empathetic.
Okay.
They understand people, and they're able to motivate people, not by kicking them in the rear, but by providing them what they need to do and preparing them to do the work.
Wow, that's
Those would be three.
So let's go back to the first one. So
Yeah.
you say focus. So drive, clear
They know
plan
what-
of action.
Right. When you get somebody coming in to invest $500 million in a big plant of some kind, the thing they go to bed thinking about and wake up thinking about 2 or 3 times during the night is, how do I go from spending money to making money?
Mm-hmm.
How do I get this done as fast and as predictably as possible, as safely as possible, without interruption, and start making and shipping product? Because that's when I start making money, not just spending money. And it doesn't matter whether it's their own money or they're there as part of a corporation. I worked in a big corporation. It was New York Stock Exchange company for 34 years. And we were, when we opened a new business, put a new plant in some area, we knew exactly what we needed. We knew exactly who we needed. We knew exactly what it was going to take. And it was, the job was help us check all the boxes and get this done and go about our business.
I would also say that they have to be organized in that.
Oh,
They
yeah,
have to have an
absolutely. Data-driven,
organized,
organized, focused.
Yep, so good.
So I've heard this terminology before. It's signal versus noise. Mm-hmm. And with a lot of CEOs, presidents, they have this capability of taking the noise that's around them every single day and focus, which is what you're saying. And so the signal is mainly what they're doing every single day, right? So you take Steve Jobs. He was 80% signal. That's what people say that were around him. Like, there is no noise. He was singular focused in on what it was that he was trying to accomplish just that day.
Yeah.
Just that day. Elon Musk, I mean, if you heard Mr. Wonderful on the podcast, CEO, Diary of CEO, he said Elon Musk was 100% signal. There is zero noise.
Have you read Walter Isaacson's biography of Musk?
I have. I listened to it. I absolutely listened to it. It's fascinating.
It really is.
The way that he could the way he could focus in on one single thing at a time is unbelievable. I don't think there's anybody before him, and I don't think there'll be anybody after him.
There'll be somebody.
Not the way that not 100% signal. Like that to me is, even Bezos didn't have his focus. Every single thing that he's done, he may stay up 48 hours, 72 hours straight on one focused item.
One in a generation.
He really is. And he'll be the first trillionaire, I'm sure. I mean, that's what everybody's predicting.
New contract. They're talking about it on Squawk Box this morning.
Well, he probably deserves it.
Make us 20 trillion and we'll let you have one.
Yeah, sounds like a fair trade.
So focus, signal versus noise, data driven, empathy. I thought that was interesting. I mean, I understand. I'm about to do a speech to a bunch of realtors, and empathy was one of the things that I really wanted to hammer home, especially when it comes to talking to other people. Like, and really, what is so define empathy when it comes to when you see these people. What does empathy actually mean to you when you see it firsthand?
The ability to stand in the other guy's shoes.
Stand in the other guy's shoes.
Understand what he's dealing with, at least to some degree.
Okay.
You don't have to know everything going on in somebody's life, but you gotta understand what motivates people. Different things motivate different people. You got to be able to figure out what floats somebody's boat if you want to get them to really dig in and do their very best in the situation you've got them in or the opportunity you got them in.
That's well said, because the word empathy could also be taken as I empathize with your sorrow and it sounds a little woe is me. But to actually stand in that person's shoes to say, what motivates you and how do we get the best outcome out of you? Like, because you're right, money's not always the motivator. It can absolutely be anything.
It's got to be right or it's got to be reasonable.
That's correct. So that's a good one.
Yeah,
I
I think that's those are really three good things.
Did you mention any other qualities that we missed?
No, but if I thought about it,
you let
I might come up with another one.
So good. I'll put this in 1, 2, 3
I'll stick
order.
with so good.
So another one that I've got for you, kind of on that same line, is how do you see trust and integrity translating into real economic outcomes for business leaders?
Well, that sort of, it sounds. Some people are a little uncomfortable talking about things like this, but if you don't trust each other, there's no way you can accomplish much. You might, you kind of go through the motions. Yeah. And if you're not treating people with integrity, if you're not good for what you say you're going to do, or your very best effort to do it, they're not going to march into many firestorms with you.
So let me play this out a little bit. You get a phone call from a big corporation, and they're talking about coming into a certain place within Arkansas. At least you're in the top 3. How do you what are the first things that you do from a character standpoint to get these guys to trust you? Because that's what this is, right? You need to trust them.
Don't blow smoke at them. You're not going to talk them into anything. Your job is to, first of all, give them the absolute truth and all of the data that they want.
Gotcha.
And realize they probably already got it.
So are they really testing you? Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh, okay.
They want to see if you're worth listening to or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're on their side, teamwork, play well with others, that's interesting.
I can tell you everything I need to know about Russellville, Arkansas within 2 minutes with this thing.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everything I need to know.
Yeah.
That's true.
So they already know it.
It's crazy.
ChatGPT is crazy scary.
Yeah.
And others. AI is a whole nother podcast.
Another whole deal, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's here.
no,
Yeah.
It's not coming, it's here.
No,
It's
it's
here.
definitely here. So they're going to call you up, and you already.
Well,
they're-
typically they'll start with like the Economic Development Commission. That's most often the first point of contact. Because that's what they're there for. And everybody, look, the site selection consultants are the ones who drive these. They do all the data digging,
Data-driven.
and you know the company will say, I need a plant within 100 miles of this point in the U.S.
Yeah.
for distribution purposes. That's why I want it. Our geography is a lot of what's helping us win right now.
Wonderful.
All of this distribution and logistics stuff starts with moving stuff. We are smack dab in the middle of the country. That's why we have so many big, successful trucking companies, because they start here and they go either direction, right or left,
Right.
east or
that.
west,
Yeah.
north or south.
Absolutely.
And we've got a good highway system.
Good for us.
But that's where it starts. I need a plant in the southern U.S.
Yeah.
I'm a Norwegian manufacturer of some product.
Wow.
And I want to put something, and I want to be in the southern part of this country. I want a right to work state. I want a well-managed, low cost of doing business. Give me all those factors. I want a workforce. I need a workforce with these skills within 40 miles of wherever I locate.
And
Because that's what people will drive.
That's right.
Typically, about 40
miles. And we meet that criteria. Fantastic.
You check most of anybody's boxes.
Yep.
So how much when they call you up? Did they pretty much have an idea? Like there's 75% there by the time that they call you, right?
75 to 80.
75 to 80%, they're there.
It's down to one if you or three or four.
By
five
so that,
states.
and that's the first phone call. They're already 3/4 of the way there. So you're looking to fill in
And
the
they
gap.
typically don't identify the company, the consultants. They just say, I've got a project, and they'll give it some
Fake
clandestine
name.
name,
Yeah.
some
Right.
secret like Project Orpheus or
Yeah.
something, whatever.
Whatever.
But you're having to fill in the last
No, we don't.
25%.
No, the AEDC does 90% of that stuff.
Okay.
We're kind of the cheerleaders. for
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
Our job at the state chamber is to work on the climate, the business climate,
Okay.
the tax rates, the regulatory environment, the civil justice system, all the things that affect cost of operating a business and cost of growing capital.
But you'll get into those conversations because of what you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get to meet some of these guys and have these conversations and try to help close the deal as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Some of them.
Some
a
of
lot
them.
of them we never hear about.
yeah.
A
Well,
lot
that's
of
true.
them, they'll go, they'll end up in Blytheville. They know they've got to be within 2 miles of
Right.
one of those steel mills because
Yeah.
they're taking steel out of those mills and then fabricating it in some way.
So
They're
it's
not. They know where they're
They
going.
know where they have to go. Right. That makes sense. That
Awesome.
makes sense.
So, okay, I think we need to wrap this up. We've got a couple of more closing questions, but for you specifically, though, who's been an influence for you? Maybe leadership qualities that even you might carry out today. And it doesn't have to be someone
There's
that you
so
know.
many people.
Oh, good.
I've really been blessed in that regard and working with and for people that are really first not rate. A lot of them are in Atlanta, so that was the home base for our company.
Sure. Yeah.
But in Arkansas, start with Witt and Jack Stevens. Those guys have had more impact on the economy and the quality of life in Arkansas than anybody else.
That's incredible.
Most of the highly successful companies in Arkansas, the big names,
Yeah.
they made them happen because of the financing they arranged. Walmart, start with Walmart. They took Walmart public, 1970, 60 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. In the
If you'd
60s,
bought
I
100
thought.
shares of Walmart,
You'd be doing well.
you paid
just fine.
$1,600. It doubled. The shares doubled 11 times, and then the most recent was a triple.
God,
Mm-hmm.
So double 11 times and then triple that.
it.
Yeah.
It's a big
Do the
number.
math.
That's a big, that's
Do
a
the
big
math.
number. Which I read Walton's book
Yeah.
too, which is really fascinating how all that took place.
But
Yeah.
specifically, though, what's the character trait that you feel like carried that, or 2 or 3 character traits
First
from
thing
the
is
Stevens?
integrity. You got to believe what they say. You got to believe
Trust.
in you, and you got to be willing to listen, because they're willing to say things that are tough to say.
Ooh, say the hard thing, the truth.
They're willing to tell you the truth.
Wow, that's good.
Do you see that trait has diminished? Or
No, it's
is
just
it-
it's always been rare.
it's always been rare.
All the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur have always been rare and will always be rare.
I think
They
that's
will
why.
do anything, whatever it takes to succeed.
That is the average
Period.
entrepreneur. Yeah. And I don't think that that's a sustainable business model. Character trait in business is
Yeah.
to do anything that it takes. It might get you there.
No,
but
I
it
don't
won't
mean
sustain
as
you,
long as
you
it's
know?
got to be between
Yeah.
between the rails. What I'm saying is they'll do the hard things.
Oh, understood.
They'll do the menial things.
Got it.
There's a great story about there's a plant over in northeast Arkansas, a Japanese manufacturing company that built a beautiful plant, had like 700 employees and top of the line, part of the Toyota manufacturing system,
Yeah.
different brand. But the CEO of the company was coming for his first ever visit from Tokyo. And I mean, they scrubbed the plant, the Japanese employees who were there knew what that meant.
Yeah.
Anyway, the big day comes. They pick him up at the Memphis airport, or maybe they flew into Blythe or whatever. Anyway, he pulls up in front of the plant, and he gets out, and he starts in, and he stops, and he looks over, and he says, "Could I have a paper bag, please?" What was he doing? What do you think he was doing? He started picking up cigarette
I was going to say, was
butts.
he
Oh,
cleaning
wow.
up? Because
He started picking up cigarette butts and did it for 30 minutes.
wow, that's not the average CEO, I'd
It
say.
never, it is, really.
You think so?
It's more average
Really?
than you think it is.
Ooh, that's good to hear.
They will not walk by. The theory is, or the maxim is, if you walk by it, you've endorsed it. If you don't
Stop to take care of the
fix
issue,
it, or get it fixed,
then you've approved
you've
it,
approved
basically.
it. It's okay.
Interesting.
So that's why they're willing to have hard conversations.
Hard conversation.
Is because they see it as, if I don't, then I'm encouraging that behavior,
tolerating
attitude. I'm tolerating
allowing
this.
it.
Yeah.
Oof, that's good.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, I'm listening through a book called Principles by Ray. I'm going to say his last name wrong. Dalio.
He's on Squawk Box all the time.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting book, and some of his principles are very, very direct. The way that he ran Bridgewater, and the way that he handled confrontation was, we are radically transparent. Those were the words that he used.
Yeah.
Radically transparent, and
That's a good expression.
the way that he described it was, if somebody goes into a meeting and he had to do 2 different presentations, and one of the presentations was absolutely terrible. He rambled forever. The other people in that meeting would then grade him on his presentation. There would be an email sent out with everybody on the email, and they would say, you
Tough
got
crowd.
a D minus. You didn't do this. You rambled for this long. We think that you can do better, and so next time, be
Prove
better.
it. Yeah.
Be better.
Yeah.
You obviously didn't prepare for it. Now, that is radically transparent. Like, that's like, I don't know if I could even be comfortable with that. But in that Bridgewater, which was his company, that's the radical transparency, and it was a meritocracy is the way he would say it.
There's a great story about Henry Kissinger along those lines. He was, I don't know, secretary of something, and he had this hotshot aide, and he said, I need a paper, or do something, write a paper on whatever the subject was. And the guy kind of banged it out, knocked it out, took it in and gave it to him. Came back about 2 hours later, and Kissinger handed it back to him and said, is that the best you can do on this? The guy said, maybe not. Let me do a little more. So took it, worked on it for a couple of more days, came back and gave it to Kissinger. Kissinger kept it for about 2 or 3 hours, called him back and says, "Is this the very best you can do?" No. So he finished it the third time, and he takes it into Kissinger and says, "I think this is the very best I can do." He said, "Okay, I'll read it this time."
Oh, man.
Yeah. Just wanted to know, right?
No.
Is this the best that you can do?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read it until I know it's
And
the
that's
best you can do.
it's
That's
not
good.
it's holding people accountable.
Exactly.
It's affirming, and I think Stephen Covey said when you do that, it's affirming. It's not belittling.
Absolutely. You
It's
set
your-
clear expectations, and
That's
then you
right.
hold people accountable for them.
And you see that in people that you deal with. I mean, on the CEOs,
Absolutely.
presidents. That's one of the big
Absolutely.
characteristics that they have, right?
Don't blow smoke at me.
Yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do.
Don't waste my
It's
time.
not rocket surgery.
Yeah.
None
Yeah.
of it is.
Yeah.
It's just work.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just do your best.
Yeah.
Bring
So-
your best game.
So to finish up here, what would you say? Give me your top 3 books that you would say, hey, if you're starting out as an entrepreneur, or maybe just 3 books that meant a lot to you in your life, that you read and it kind of changed your perspective on stuff. What would you say? Maybe
The 2 right now. The one I bought probably 300 copies of and given them to our leadership class, Arkansas leadership class our leadership Arkansas class for the last 5 years. It's called Visible Hand by a guy named Matt Hennessy. He's the editor of the letters to the editors section of the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
I've talked to him 2 or 3 times. I've tried to get him to come be our speaker, but he won't. He doesn't take speaking engagements. It's a great basic principles of economics book. It's the most transparent economic book I've ever read.
Okay.
It's really good.
okay. Visible hands. Okay. Hand.
You
Okay.
remember the invisible hand of
Yeah.
Adam Smith?
Yep.
It's about how the economy works.
Okay.
Wonderful stories in it. Second one right now is a thing by Michael Strain called "The American Dream Is Not Dead, but Populism May Kill It." He's the chief economist for the American Enterprise Institute in D.C. Terrific read. And the other one is, well, you read the Jobs biography. The other one's the Musk biography. Those are 3.
I've read the Musk one. I haven't read the Jobs one yet. It's on the.
Yeah. It's
worth it.
I've done the Walton. I've done the Musk, and Jobs is on the list for sure because he has an interesting story of
Yeah.
getting out, getting back in, saving the business. I mean,
They actually have a Musk book that's a version for kids from that same biography.
Really?
you
And
have to tone it down if it's Musk
well,
for kids.
It is. The stories still apply, but we read that. We've read that too.
Yeah.
Our oldest. I don't know how much he's grasped yet. We may read it again later, but man,
Cool.
it's still good.
Um,
So those are
and-
great.
and
I will
then-
link these below for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. We'll link these below, and Jobs, Musk.
And Walton. That was
Yeah.
the other biography.
Walton was one of my. I had
Yeah.
Walton's. It's a good one too. The one that he actually wrote.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good one.
And then anything Victor Davis Hanson writes.
Victor Davis Hanson.
I've
heard that author.
He's a historian, I guess you'd say, at Stanford.
Oh.
He's a rational person at Stanford.
Yeah, I was going to say, really, from Stanford, huh?
Yeah, Hoover Institute.
Okay.
Anything by Tom Sowell.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, I heard. I listened to a lot of Patrick David, and he loves Soul. He mentions him a lot.
Sowell's terrific.
Yeah, so that's good stuff. And then, lastly, what would you say your definition of leadership is?
The first thing is the ability to set a clear set of goals to figure out where you're trying to go. And
Vision.
And then persuade people to follow you and help you.
Okay. So vision.
Vision first.
And vision
You gotta
first.
have a vision.
And then
I
being
wanna be
able
the
to
best
articulate.
I want to have the best barbecue joint in Pope County, Arkansas. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then selling that to people so that they want to join your
I want
quest.
to help you and provide.
Support. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No.
Okay. I love that.
Yep, that's good. And I would say that echoes a lot of what I've read too about how other people see leadership.
That's what it starts with. You know,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, if you take Musk, for example, I mean, rockets to Mars. I mean, that's a radical.
Really?
That's a radical thing. I mean, if you just
Man,
sold me
what
on
about
that,
the moon?
yeah. Don't you just want to start
Kinda
there? And I mean, it's so. But Musk sold it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's his vision. People sold it, and then
You know, he's scared to death we're going to die out.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a whole nother podcast
That's a whole nother
about
deal.
fear, but it seems such a radical thing to do in reaction to your fear.
And I would say that he doesn't. I don't know. He has a diagnosable issue. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if
he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, he's on. But I don't think he actually understands what fear is. Like what you say, the fear that we have. Musk has it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And it's a rational fear. It's not a lot of people, like we've had quotes before, like 95% of fears are unrational, like you're just making stuff up. Musk has a fear it's completely rational in his mind. And he takes it from a very scientific, logical.
He goes all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop.
The human race will die out. I mean, that's a pretty radical, from start to finish.
But
so.
I mean, Twitter was the same way, and the free speech was going to die out. So he took that fear, which is not, it's a logical fear, to a whole another level, and it's incredible. His book.
You know what he's doing in Memphis? You know about the supercomputer over there.
Well, I knew obviously he's big into AI, and I think he just made a deal with.
It's the biggest supercomputer in the world, right?
Wow.
Yeah, is it? He just made a deal for the super chips. I saw the other day. Was it with Japan or China or somebody?
Yeah,
NVIDIA. That's what it was. NVIDIA for the So that's based in Memphis.
That's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one in Memphis.
These data centers are. I mean, they're all over the country. They're taking all the juice and you can get.
Yes.
And that's our biggest constraint right now for the country.
Well, it's energy, right?
Energy, yeah.
But we have
water.
We have nuclear, right?
Just got to build more of it.
When they're having those micro nuclear plants that are coming, or that's what they're attempting to create to supply that. But we have a nuclear power plant here, and they're doing pretty good. So I figured I feel like
they
those
just went up on our bill. They're doing great. Everyone's
get ready.
Yeah, some of that's due to 110 degrees in Arkansas in August.
Get ready.
Yeah, so it's
put it on a levelized billing plan.
I know.
Quit worrying about it.
A lot of people have said that.
Yeah.
So, in fact, that's going to be the message here.
Well,
that's good.
Randy, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I think this was enlightening. I'm gonna, I really enjoyed some of the focus, data-driven empathy. I think those are some really great stuff that I'm going
to ponder. I'll try to remember for the next.
That's some really good stuff, and I'm just grateful that Arkansas is growing in the ways that it is, and thank you for your leadership in doing that.
Fun.
I mean, we're honored to be a part of Arkansas and what we're doing. Isn't it a cool time to be in Arkansas?
It could not be any more fun.
I think this is great.
Yeah,
I'm excited to raise boys here and a family here and see where it turns out. So, but
I've told all my grandsons and granddaughter that this is a great time to be entering the workforce, and they all say, "Why do you say that? It's tough." I said, "No, it's not tough.
Yeah,
There's no competition.
You don't have a clue
There's
what
no
tough
competition.
is. Yeah.
You just show up and act interested.
Yeah,
that's right.
If you can just outwork people, just show up and outwork people. I mean, you could really make headwinds.
We've been in the workforce for how long? 17 years in real estate now.
Yeah.
And so, and 17 years ago, all we did was show up and just do the work. And, looking back on it, it was like the worst time in history to get into real estate. It was terrible. But you do it. You figure it out. And
you didn't make any excuses to we're not victims. I mean, we started out 20s and
have y'all seen, I'll give you another one to read.
Yeah.
Look up The Sweat Pledge by Mike Rowe.
I have. I recently read that, and it is really good. Yeah.
Do you have it?
I don't have it, but I've read it online.
It's a set of like 12 or 14 things that you commit to do, that you pledge to do. You get it.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
That'd be great.
Sweat Pledge.
Okay.
Mike Rowe's great. I mean, and I think ATU's done a really good. Dr. Jones has done a really good job of.
Russ Jones is a secret weapon. For
he's
done
done some really
he
great
was our very
stuff.
first podcast guest. It was great.
He was in our Leadership Arkansas class last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you again, and I would love to have you back sometime in the future just to talk more about this stuff. Because this is just golden nuggets of good stuff for our listeners and for people that are just tuning in and trying to see what's going on in Arkansas, but also just good principles to walk away with.
CJ's and Old South are two of my favorites.
Hey, we can hook you up there, okay? We can hook you up with those.
I'll have to remember that.
Randy, thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.